This one might take a while because I know how homie's gonna get on the NFC West. Can't fault him for his 2021 championship year that we spent down at the homie day household watching
Who's
the Super Bowl.
house? Rams house. Who's house? Hey, welcome to your Super Bowl champion division, the home of your NFC West, the home of your Super Bowl champions, the LA Rams, man, and the hometown Seattle Seahawks. A lot of news, drama, talk, stuff to be had. We know what happened last year. It ended up, man, with a nail biter, bro. Nail biter to the end. Stix just talked about it. It was here. It happened at the house. I was there, okay? I couldn't believe I was there because what I was seeing, we pulled it out. Skin of our teeth. Shout out to Cooper Kupp. Shout out to Odell Beckham and his leg. Okay, shout out to Von Miller. Shout out to Aaron Donald. Okay, put the ring on. Okay, everybody who's here, everybody who's gone, because there's some people gone. That's the problem. Okay, I have some serious concerns with that. But let's tell them what happened last year. What did we think? Was we even close to being right?
Oh, you were definitely close. You were definitely right on the money, homie. To be clear, last year's NFC West, we had the Rams was over 10.5. They finished at 12. Homie took the over.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona was 8.5. They finished at 11. We both took the over. San Francisco was 10.5. We both finished at 10. We both took the under.
Damn right.
And Seattle was over under 10, and they finished at 7. And yours truly, myself, Stix, took the over. That was a total fan place. And homie took the under and hit all 4 for 4 on the NFC West, homie. That's how you do it.
The 4 horsemen, Chico.
4 horsemen, you knocked it out. That's for sure.
But yeah, we know what happened with the Super Bowl, and we know what happened with the Seahawks. It's been documented. We said there's major departures happening up here in the Pacific Northwest, and some pieces still landing in the division. We're gonna talk about that. But like I said, we got a lot of people leaving with the on the high of the Super Bowl. You got my boy Andrew Whitworth shakes up the O-line and retires as he should. Austin Corbett, we just talked about him a second ago in the previous division in the South, being picked up, going to get his money, leaving the Rams. Now that he's supposedly famous, he's a Super Bowl champion. Okay, so we lost a bunch of guys on the D. We talked about Von Miller. We talked about Troy Reeder. Damn it, Johnny Hecker is gone. Okay,
Johnny, they got rid of Johnny.
The punk guy, man. He plays for Carolina, man. It's all bad, man. So we lost some guys on the defense, but in comes the savior, the leader supremo, Bobby Wagner.
What
the day? What do you know about that,
bro?
How do you feel about that?
That is wild. Of all the teams he could have went to, he ends up going there. And I mean, you replace
insider trading.
You replace Von Miller with Bobby Wagner. You don't lose a step, man. You might even get a little bit better, in my opinion, at linebacker with the Rams.
Yes,
with all that, and it's like isn't it like a 5-year deal still?
Yeah, it is 4. I think it's 4. It's 4.
Yeah. And the Rams aren't messing around. They're bringing it back. They just extended McVay through the 26th season, I think. And
see, we never know about that. Like I said, there was a report that he said that he just doesn't love it like a coach is really supposed to love coaching because he's scared of because he's scared of falling in love with it like that. He knows what it takes.
Yeah. So I mean, with the additions of Bobby Wagner, and Allen Robinson, I don't know if you hit on that one too. We'll see how that works out. Like you mentioned with the NFC North, everyone getting out of Chicago. This is one of those guys that got out of Chicago.
Yep.
And found a home. And as I think we talked about a little bit yesterday in the AFC part was, you still have that locker ready for OBJ if
Yes,
that
sir.
comes down to it. So Rams are gonna be scary, man.
If
Rams
Odell
be scary.
if Odell isn't able to, convince him to come up there and think that he can chase down one with Buffalo, because that's one of the guys who helped get that thing going for the Rams. So it was Odell chatting it up with Vaughn last year. So we'll see if that same thing doesn't happen there. But yeah, the offense is going to still be pretty consistent, I think, because we're adding in Allen Robinson, like you talked about, and hoping that he can be a bigger piece than Van Jay, and hopefully give us closer to what OBJ was giving us to go along with Cooper Kupp. And then, like I talked about, y'all gonna hear this name. This name is gonna be famous. Tutu Atwell is gonna become somebody. He's gonna be your Jalen Waddle. He's gonna be your Wes Welker. He's gonna be your third and Renfro. He's gonna be your Tyreek Hill cat. It's coming. Okay.
So it's not a Shkaraniak or whatever his name is.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's gonna still be there. He gonna make the team. He made the team, but he don't have no business being out there. He didn't have no business being out there,
especially when we're trying to win a ticket
in a Super Bowl. Come on, what are we doing? What are we doing?
On a what was that? The touchdown play or a prop play, and they're throwing the ball to Sharaniak or whatever his name was.
And this is one of our targets.
Yeah, and one more thing too on your Rams is you can't forget about the fact that Cam Akers is back and healthy. Missed most of the year last year.
Yeah.
Go Knowles. But that's going to be a solid, and as you referenced to, homie, the best, and you talk about your team the best. Your Rams is they might have that three-headed monster back like they had a couple years ago, where you could roll Akers, you could roll the bowling ball Malcolm Brown, you could roll Darnell Henderson at the same time. So you never know who the hell is going to get the ball for fantasy purposes or play purposes.
Don't play a Rams running back.
Too late.
I'm telling you right now, don't
too
play
late.
running back.
I'm playing Akers tonight. I'll tell you that.
Okay. Well, hey, hopefully don't treat it like the Patriots, bro. But it's going to be interesting to see how that goes, because, like I said, most of the concern that I have this year is now that I've seen what the offense is capable of, even though it still stumbles, because McVay, I question his play calling. As much as I appreciate what he does for everything, his play calling, we pointed out some times last year where he just looked suspect and he was making bad decisions. But the defense is going to be a problem, because that used to be what we was known for bringing. And hopefully adding the big name of Bobby Wagner as a linebacker who can help the secondary a little bit more instead of focusing on rushing, because Ashawn Robinson's still there with Aaron Donald. We're good. Okay, we just don't have the Joseph Day anymore, because him and Troy Reader went across the hallway and got the other locker room and for the Chargers. So yeah, exactly. So that's what we're working with. So we're going to have to see. Aaron Donald and Ashawn will still get that push. It's just who's going to be rushing the quarterback. Leonard Floyd's still there, so he can rush freely, but he's not Von Miller. Okay. Bobby Wagner's going to be there to make sure nobody's slipping with the run game and none of these little tight ends are getting out the back slick. That's what I'm going to like, because that's what's going to help us shut down these bum ass 49ers.
Well, let's talk a little bit. You were talking about Bobby Wagner. So let's talk a little key losses from the Seahawks. What do we have? Obviously, Chris Carson retires. KJ Wright retires. He wasn't on the team, but he was back with the team. We know how that goes. Yeah. You obviously lost Bobby Wagner. You lose Russell Wilson. You lose DJ Reed.
They lost Russell Wilson, not on the Seahawks this year.
No Russell Wilson.
What about Carlos Dunlap? He's still there.
And Carlos Dunlap has left as well. So,
oh my God, this is gonna be a bad year. Where was I?
Just looking.
When did all of this happen?
I think that I was just looking. I think their defensive line, and I can't remember off the top of my head. I think their defensive line is actually going to be okay. They got Puna, damn it, I can't remember off the top of my head.
Kobe Bryant.
Too many drugs. Not on the defensive line, they don't.
They're gonna need Kobe Bryant everywhere.
So they're going a little bit in the
they got
in the downward spiral. Let's see. you had all these opportunities to get a quarterback, and you end up with Geno Smith and Drew Lock as your quarterback.
All
I
right.
was kind of hoping that they'd give Drew Lock the nod.
All right,
and
you
see
ready?
what happens.
You ready? You want me to drop the bombshell on you right now?
Yeah, what you got?
Let me put everybody in the AFC, or I'm sorry, the NFC West on notice. Okay, the Seahawks are smart. I've come to realize they're not stupid. Okay, the fans are a little wishy-washy, though, as we've come to know and acknowledge and love sometimes. But you have to understand, it works for others. It can work for you. It is time to turn it on. It is time to turn on Tank for Bryce. Stop playing. Don't even think about winning this year. Bryce Young, he is a Heisman winner, and he just lit the hell up out of somebody. Do you want Bryce Young, QB1, Seattle Seahawks? Your ass better not win shit. That is why I put the pieces together. Only investigative group has pieced together why there was no quarterback signed, why Geno Smith is trotting out in 2022. QB1 on a Monday Night Football game, nationally televised for your Seattle Seahawks. It is Bryce Young time. The decision has been made. It is going down. Tyler Lockett is going to stick around for another year after Bryce Young shows up. DK Metcalf, oh, he's going to love this one, boy. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Mark it up. The anonymous prognosticating homie has put it on the map. Tank for Bryce. Hashtag Tank for Bryce.
Yeah, they're going to have to get that number top 3 seed, because if Atlanta gets a quarterback pick,
Stop
you know
playing.
they're going to go
Literally stop playing
with Young. So you got
stop playing.
You got Young and Stroud, so they're going to get stuck with one of those two if they get in the top 4, because the other 2 teams whoever they projected, probably going to take some defensive guys on that end.
Seahawks got a strength of schedule too, man.
Yeah, what was their strength? Did you say it was 11 or something?
11. So yeah, remember that. So I mean, Rams number 1 strength of schedule, because the other strength of schedule balances out with this division. Rams number 1 hardest. Arizona number 2. 49ers number 5.
Jeez.
So
and that's playing the NFC South and the AFC West. Oh yeah, duh.
Yes, sir. Murderers Row.
Yeah.
So therefore, that's how you
beat
can
up
get
on each other.
games like Week 1, okay, against Russell Wilson, revenge, sue for damages. He's coming for it. So that's where we could get that. So what we're looking at with, you said a lot of stuff didn't happen with 49ers. This division kind of stays pat, right? Nobody likes the 49ers, but this division stays pat. They're a system team. And when you have a system team, only thing that you're looking for is hopefully they just perform the system. It doesn't really matter the names. That's why you find out Deebo Samuel ends up being somebody. You find Brandon Ayuk might be a breakout star this year. You find out people become famous, and all the running backs that they've got money, Mostert's getting money in Miami because, he played in that system. So that's what's going on with those guys. They didn't add much. They didn't take away much to talk about. It's just a system. So what we're looking at for those guys is, the biggest question is Trey Lance, QB1. I mean, is that real?
We'll see.
Real.
We talked about this, I think, a couple weeks ago, didn't we? About how, Jimmy Garoppolo's sitting, not even practicing with the team. And then now after the trade deadline, he's still there, rebuild his career or rebuild his contract. Comes back in. Something? Now he's practicing with the team, and
what they see,
what did they see? But and again, like, you already put all your eggs in the basket with Trey Lance, so
in the basket,
you're gonna roll with them, and they must think they're good enough for what he has to make it happen and go forward with him and see. I mean, how long's the leash? We talked about a leash with somebody yesterday. Brandon Tannehill, right?
Yeah.
Was it Tannehill?
Yeah,
we're talking about with him. So we'll see, how long they go for with Lance. But I mean, I think at this point, Kyle Shanahan's locked in and said, this is our guy. So we're rolling with him, barring injury. Jimmy Garoppolo is just going to sit there for the whole year, and they're going to ride it out and think they're going to be good enough to sneak in somehow. But
I think that's a proper move for them to not let let the value build up, because if you keep them and pay them what you're going to pay them anyway, it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It's probably better than getting rid of them for something that you don't want right now, just because that's the thing to do, because it's the inevitable. Go ahead and do it right now. Let the value build. Maybe mid-season something happens, and then all of a sudden that's the time for you to capitalize. So that's the 49ers. I mean, they just are what they are. That's the biggest concern, is the Trey Lance experience and that thing being handed over to him. Whew, let's talk about these Redbirds, man.
And you are not a fan of these Redbirds, are you? You are not a fan.
I enjoy the Redbirds, man. I just, the quarterback is just not he's just not going to be the guy that you
sign the big deal.
He's just not going to be the guy that you expect him to be. The Cardinals are being given a soft 8.5 with the number 2 hardest strength of schedule.
After coming off an 11-win season, too.
Yes. And losing DeAndre six games, you got, or is it 6 game or 10? No, he's a 6. It's Watson that has the 10-game suspension. So he's got a 6-game PED suspension to start the season off with. That they're going to be without him in that front half of the season, which means what they end up looking like is they have some games in where that end up being light for these dudes. So from week 4 through week 9, 5 of Arizona's 6 games are all against teams that didn't make the playoffs. So they get handed a softball in the middle of it for where they could make a nice run, but it's surrounded by some spots where they can get hammered because of the schedule makeup, and that just is what it is. And I just don't think, I mean, what are we talking about? For what did they add to the plate that would make us? You got Connor, that's the guy who you're running out there. You lose Chase Edmonds, you don't have D Hop for 6 games, and then Christian Kirk's gone because he chased the money. And you bring in Hollywood Brown. That's your offense now, Hollywood Brown. And the young kid from last year who was supposed to be the young shaky kid, Rondell
Moore. What?
Rondell Moore. I was gonna say Rondell Smith. But yeah, so that's what they've got to work with. I have zero faith in that. So therefore, the anonymous big homie is would take I would lean under with the 8.5 for those guys. And I think that they can get a solid 8. My concern is that there's a 9 that they could get, and they could be over 500. They're not a playoff team this year.
They were top 8 defense last year total, but still like top 15 in points given up. So
right, and that's after losing Chandler Jones, and that's part of their.
I think JJ was hurt a little bit.
Yeah, of course, he's always hurt. So like I said, I just don't have any.
So they have to bounce back a little bit. Did you say hard under in that?
Hard. Ease. Number 2 hardest strength of schedule going up, and you have to play games against Kansas City, a young, hot Chargers team, a Vegas team who seems like they just got instant chemistry, and a Broncos team led by Russell Wilson, who is very familiar with every single joker in this division. I'm trying to tell you, it's going to be hard on the yard. Now, having that NFC South and having an Atlanta on the schedule and maybe a Carolina, but you don't know what you're going to be running. You might run into a Carolina damn buzzsaw.
TBD.
Okay? You know what I'm saying? So and looking at that, man, like I said, that leads to the things with what biggest thing that I have is unfortunate Kenny Walker and his hernia situation, but he'll probably be all right. I had a hernia surgery, so he ain't gonna miss the whole season for that. And it looks like the Seahawks are up to the same shenanigans. They look like they want to do run
with Rashard Penny. If he could stay healthy, that'll be nice. But I do like Kenneth Walker a lot. Hopefully the offensive line, the Charles Cross that they just got in the draft, and then the other dude, I can't remember the other dude's name either.
I guarantee you he get more time on the field than the Rams first pick at O-line, who's out for the year.
Oh yeah, the draft pick. But yeah, so we'll see how the offensive line holds up. But we think we talk about this every year. It's just Pete wants to run, just like you said.
I think now it's a good thing right now, because I think right now if you get the offensive line in a mode, like I said, after the Russell Wilson situation happened and we did the therapy show, was you have to invest mentally into the fact that your team should build foundationally from the inside out. Let's just get Chris Cross, or whatever his name is, Charles Cross, get him some reps and get him comfortable, and build a 5-person O-line that you can be proud of. Build a 4-man front of defense that y'all could be proud of, and just go fight hard. Learn who you are. Learn who's going to be on this team moving forward when Bryce Young get here. When we put him on the map, because Bryce Young's a West Coast kid. He's from California. He went to Mater Dei. So, hey, I'm trying to tell you, man, that could happen. That could happen. So just play the games and don't worry about it, and toss up these games. You know what I'm saying? Just
if you're not better than the other team, it's okay.
Hey, look, they're getting a 5.5. Anyway, I know you probably talking about running to the table with a
no, I'm still sitting that one out.
No. So you think it's under? You think they got a good 5 in them?
I have no idea what the hell they got. I don't even know what Seattle's got in them. You never know.
That's another one of my best bets, man. I think the Seattle's a solid five win team. I think 5 wins. If they need to at the end to compete with Atlanta and Houston to try to get that number 1 pick, they'll make it happen, because it's more vital for Atlanta. Might want it. Okay, Atlanta might want Bryce Young. Houston, I think, they probably would want it, but if Davis Mills still seems serviceable, he got 2 more years on a rookie contract. So that's my other best bet. You can get the Seahawks at plus money too, plus 110 if you'd like, under 5.5. If you have the cajones to run to the counter with under 5.5 money, plus 110 is what that'll get for you. But the Rams, like I said, the Rams are, given a 10.5. They threw up a 13 last year, which, it was a tight 13 because there was a lot of close calls in there. A lot of frustration for me because I wasn't liking what I was seeing. But at the same time, there was a lot of patience because the process is what we're looking for, and we want the end result to be what we got, and that's rings and trophies. So it ended up turning out they get a 10.5 again this year. I don't see anything. I think that because of the chemistry with the defense, I think that they are -1 game. I think I give them a 12, even though they have the hardest schedule. I think that they're going to drop a couple games by teams that they should lose to. Tough competition, because the Rams play every team who finished number 1 in their division this year, except for Pittsburgh. Or I'm sorry, not Pittsburgh. Every team that finished number 1 this year. I'm sorry, I was thinking of playoffs. So they have to play every division winner. So they're going to lose some games to some people, and then running up against some of these youngsters again. The rematch with the Bengals, the Chargers on the come up. Like I said, Russell Wilson's familiar with everybody.
West, yeah,
Russell Wilson's familiar with everybody. So it's going to be real tight. And just this year, I am not going to be concerned with the offense because I've seen it now. I know what it's capable of. I'm not concerned with Matt Stafford or his arm. I am concerned with our defense and the chemistry there, because now where Jalen Ramsey used to, take plays off and chill, I don't think he has the leeway to do so, because don't let none of this Super Bowl hangover shit get to you, bro. Get out there, get with Bobby Wagner, who's still hungry, and get out there and figure out how to get this thing done, man. Bobby Wagner is sandwiched in between Aaron Donald and my man Jalen Ramsey, trying to get this ring in this sandwich, okay, on that second line for linebacker. So let's get it done, man. I got an over in that. My locks, because the Rams are better money, I would take the over 10.5. My other one was 49ers because they're only a 9.5. I think the 49ers are a 10-win team, but they would be at -150. The Rams are only -115 for over 10.5. My diehard under, like I said, Seahawks, +110 as my second best bet of my forced over unders.
It's hard for me to pick. I'm all in on your Rams over 10.5. I think that's easy money right there.
That's why it's forced.
There's nothing wrong with that one. The only other, it's hard for me to decide on the other one. I'm going with the under on the San Francisco 9.5. I think that, I don't know, unless Trey Lance is
that's smart. That's smart though.
Is the real one, and he comes out on fire, then that could be a complete opposite. But I'm definitely just going to take my chances on the rookie quarterback.
Because how many games did they win? How many games did they win last year? You said
they were a
10-win team last year.
10. Yeah, you're right. 10.
So they're a 10-win team last year. So if you're taking the under, that's you're okay. Yeah. So you're saying he's 2 games worse than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Than Jimmy G.
I mean, we don't. There's so many questions we don't know. That very well could be. That we could look back at the highlights from preseason before last year and say, look it. But guess who else who had preseason highlights from last year? Justin Fields. What happened to him?
Yeah, true. Real quick, before we get into our picks for the division to close it out, I wanted to, let's see, what were the so you referenced a little bit about the London games. So there's London, Germany, and Mexico.
Yep.
So week 4 we have New Orleans, Minnesota in London.
Mm-hmm.
Week 5 you have Giants, Green Bay in London.
Mm-hmm.
Week 8 you have Jacksonville, Denver in London.
Yeah.
And where's Germany?
Seattle at Tampa Bay. Well, Tampa
there
Bay
it is.
The home team.
Yep. Tampa Bay, Seattle, and Germany. And then who's in Mexico? I found it.
Frisco and Arizona.
What week
Estadio Azteca.
Yeah, go figure, huh? What week is that?
Oh,
I can't see it on my schedule here, but interesting. So
yeah. And then, like we said, we got that. Multiple more international games factored into the schedule. We talked about NFL coming for your Christmas Day and your Christmas Eve. You know what I'm saying? NFL ain't playing because Christmas is on a Sunday this year.
Yep.
That's why they're coming for your Christmas Eve, because they normally float on a Sunday anyway, and the NFL would normally be the NBA is normally there, so they're just doing what they normally do, except for that just allows for them to take over Christmas Eve too, and do that thing. Thanksgiving games, like I talked about earlier. I talked about the Christmas time, and Christmas time in Miami is going to be great. That's Green Bay at Miami. Yeah. But Thanksgiving this year is Buffalo at Detroit. Detroit is they're a fixture right there. You cannot move that. You cannot move the 1:00 game. Giants at Dallas. That's always going to be at Dallas. And the third game, which is always the toss-up. And now when we get to see Bill Belichick take the Patriots to Minnesota for the Vikings in prime time. So yeah, that'll be a cool little Thanksgiving. And then you got they start to the shenanigans work out with the flexing at the end of the year, and that kind of thing, which they got some stuff going on with that. But hey, man, what do you think is going to happen this damn season?
Well, you're gonna laugh. I have some comic relief for you here when I get to the division picks. But last year, division picks and wild card picks from Stix and the Announced Big Homie. Last year, the AFC, my picks were Buffalo, Cleveland, Tennessee, Kansas City, Miami, Cincinnati, and Indy. 4 of 7. So obviously Buffalo, Tennessee, Kansas City, and Cincy all hit it. Homie's AFC picks were Buffalo, Cleveland, Tennessee, Kansas City, Miami, Baltimore, and Denver. Homie hit 3 of 7, Buffalo, Tennessee, and Kansas City. The NFC, we had, let's see, Washington football team, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Seattle, Rams, Arizona, and New Orleans. You could guess that was my picks because I had Seattle in there. Obviously hit 4 of 7, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Rams, and Arizona. And the honest big homie was on fire in the NFC, just like his picks of the over-unders. He had Washington football team, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Rams, San Francisco, Dallas, and New Orleans.
Yep.
And hit 5 of 7, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Rams, San Francisco, Dallas. All right, homie. Here's your relief for the day. You're going to love every minute of this. I already know. All righty.
I'm knocking shit over in anticipation. Go ahead.
For my AFC, I have East, Buffalo, North, Baltimore, South, Indy, West, the other LA team, Chargers. And for the wild card, I have Cincy, Miami, and the Raiders for my AFC picks. Buffalo, Baltimore, Indy, LAC, and then Cincy, Miami, and the Raiders.
Man. I'm intrigued by the Chargers, man. I just, after what I saw last year and then them getting bumped up to a top 10 schedule, cause for concern. But I mean, it's cause for concern for everybody, man. I have to stick to the script with AFC West, man. And the only way you can beat them is to bury them. Like I told you last year, you got to bury the Chiefs, man. Look at everything that Josh Allen tried to do. Look at everything that Gabe Davis tried to do to bury the Chiefs in overtime, regular time, damn it, out in the parking lot, on the bus with steel chairs in a ladder match. They still couldn't bury, in a damn casket match, they couldn't bury the Chiefs last year. So there's still the Chiefs in the West, okay? I'll even give you the order of the West because I think that this is controversial. Here is the West. The West: Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders, LA Chargers, Denver Broncos.
Ooh.
And guess what? There is a very good chance that I have it to script there. It could play out to where every single team could be a double-digit winner at 10 wins. It could happen. Mark it down. Okay. So that's the reason why I give you all of those. But also too, Buffalo, I'll stick to script with that. Indianapolis, Big Blue, Horseshoe, back for the division there. Tennessee's taking a step back. I think Cincinnati has enough to win the division. Baltimore will not make the playoffs. You hear me?
Yep.
One more time. Baltimore will not make the playoffs. Why will they not make the playoffs? One, they'll be held off by Cincinnati, but secondly, 2 great seasons from Vegas and Miami. Wild card and squeaking in by the skin of their teeth, only because they have a soft strength of schedule. Tennessee Titans will get in with Malik Willis as the quarterback.
Oh, I like it.
At the end of the year, because
I think that's the only way they get in is if they end up with him at the quarterback position.
The AFC champion or whoever makes it is going to be beat the hell up. The AFC is going to beat each other up this year, and there's not going to be any runaway winners in this division at all. I don't care what anybody's saying with people taking Buffalo over 11.5. They done lost their damn mind. Take it right now from the anonymous prognostication.
What did I say? Isn't it? Oh, nope. I did Buffalo under. Good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we agreed on a lot of that, except for Tennessee and LAC and Baltimore. Yeah. But I think you're 100% right. I think Malik Willis is going to be the guy if Tennessee, if Henry's healthy and makes it through, and then Tennessee's going to have a quarterback to get any farther than they did in the playoffs. So
rebirth of Aaron McNair.
Why don't you throw out your NFC picks, homie, and then I'll close it out with my nonsense that you're not going to like to hear with the NFC picks. Wow. NFC was tough for me. NFC was tough.
NFC is going to be a battle this year, no doubt about it. It's 1,000%. There is just so many good teams in this side of the bracket that it's just going to be a lot of parity, I think. So for that reason, you're going to see some new faces out here in these streets. Some new faces going to break through. I think that the West is still going to be controlled by the Rams. Then we'll go to the East because of what I talked about earlier, and Philadelphia being a double-digit winning team. I think that they will win the division based on a tie with the Cowboys. They will win the division. The South will be won by Tampa Bay, believe it or not, even after all of that stepping back I talked about. They are not going to step back far enough to be overtaken by New Orleans. The North will be handled like I talked about. The step back of Green Bay, the takeover of Cousin Kirk and Kevin McConnell, and the magic of the Minnesota Twin City Homer Dome is going down. That's your division winner. Your wild cards are your New Orleans Saints, previously mentioned. That's going to be your good 5 seed right there. Your number 6 seed is going to be your 49ers. And then your 7 is going to be your Dallas Cowboys, and they are going to squeak in again for reason being because light strength of schedule.
Breaking it down by strength of schedule, I probably should have took a little bit of advice from you there, homie, but I didn't on the strength of schedule aspect of it, because evidently in my head, all these guys are going to win 15 games and everybody's going to make the playoffs, and they're playing each other.
Stand-up comedy. Let's go.
Let's see what happens. In the East, I agree with you. I have Philly as well. I stuck to good old Aaron Rodgers in the North with Green Bay. South, I went with my boy Jameis. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. He stays healthy. It's going to be a good year for them, and the West is owned by your Rams, like 100%. Not a scare in the world there. That's their division to get, defending Super Bowl champions ain't going to give it up that easy. And the wild card teams were hard for me to decide on. So I didn't like any of the teams left after I picked the division winners.
If you got Arizona in there, I'll take my headphones off right now.
Well, it's funny. I do have Arizona.
Oh my God, I'm out of here, bro.
Detroit.
I'll take that before.
You're gonna love this one. The Carolina Panthers. So
I like all of this dumb shit you just said right there. I just realized I like all of that shit you just said. Because it's 3 wild card
teams.
What?
All 3 wild card teams: Arizona, Detroit, and Carolina, baby. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong right there. Take it to the counter. That is the picks. I'm sure you'll have more to expand on
Matt Rule
on the next episode of Sports Picks with Stix and Anonymous Big Homie, baby.
CMC leads the league in yards, rushing and receiving.
Jameis?
No, CMC.
Oh, CMC. Yeah, that's without CMC in the mix, by the way. That's all.
Oh, because we know he's gonna be hurt.
Yeah, that's all.
Oh,
Chubba,
okay, yeah,
that's all Chubba Hubbard,
okay.
Baby.
Yeah, for Chuba Hubbard 2K.
Chuba Hubbard 2K, the new invention of the CMC.
Yeah.
So hey, man, I think we kept these people on here long enough for this one. But hey, good, NFC West preview or NFC preview for everybody.
Crisp.
Remember to subscribe, rate, and review your favorite podcast platform. Go to ThisIsFunner.com for more podcasts and online content. Grab some merch while you're there from the Funner family. Follow us on Twitter. Follow me at Stix015. Follow this guy, Anonymous Big Homie, homie_anonymous. Check out the YouTube channel, the audio version of Cindy Dean and Billy Hoyle.
That's who he is.
And subscribe and smash that like button. Use that hashtag stixandsports on Twitter, baby. What you got for the people, homie?
Man, we got work to do, man. We're not even done. I don't even know what day this is because I'm not even going to say what day it is because stuff is just coming out, okay? Listen up. Tune in. Never tuning out. This is Funner. Stix and Sports. It's the sports fix with Stix and Anonymous Big Homie. Mark it up.